Guys, I just wanted to show you my second modified Aries in leather. This is that taupe leather, and I used antique bronze hardware. So you got a zipper on that side, nothing on this side. And then this one, I did a magnetic snap only, not a zipper closure. But you've got a zipper pocket inside and tons of room. So, I mean, it's just a different version of the modified Aries without the top zipper. Some people like top zippers, some people don't. This has got the woven crossbody strap, adjustable. So this will be available on my website. It turned out perfectly. Look at the top stitching. Look at it. It's just perfect. I did that over on Thor. He's a beautiful thing. The modified Aries in taupe leather. I'll do a little steam here to get it smooth after turning it, but it looks really good. Look at it. Thanks for watching. Okay, guys. Welcome to Jeannie's Designs YouTube channel. This is what we're making today. The Vicky May 2 bag. It's a crossbody bag. You're gonna love it. So there's the depth. So you have a gusset here, and then you have a front pocket. The back has a grab handle. The front pocket is huge. Look how big that is. Here's my husband's 14 Pro Max. Fits in there with tons of extra room. He's got a picture of me on his phone. Okay, and then the inside is huge too. You've got a zipper pocket in the back and 2 slip pockets on the front. But look how much room there is inside. It is a bound bag, but as far as bound bags go, it's not hard. I didn't have to go over any of my binding on this one, not once. And look at the strap, it's gorgeous. It's 1.5 inch adjustable crossbody. I love it. So go get the pattern and let's get started. This one is for sale on my website too. Thanks for watching. Let's go. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs, and I'm getting ready to record the Vicky May 2 bag. This is from Studio 7T7, the Vicky May. There are several versions of this bag, but this happens to be the 2. And the reason I'm doing this one is this was part of the bag making bee box a month or 2 ago. And so I did kind of suspend my box. I probably will restart it at some point, but I just have too much going on and I'm getting behind on all the boxes that I get. So this is the fabric. It's kind of a really pretty sway faux navy with the lining. So they send all the materials, pretty much most of the materials. So those are the 2 fabrics that I'm using. And then we're going to start with the strap. They sent the strap, this is some of her new strap, which is really pretty, and silver hardware. So let's get started. The Vicky May by Studio 7T7. All right, let's make the strap. Let's see how much they sent us. I have 36 by 16. 36 by 16, that's plenty. So this feels like a little mix between nylon and jacquard webbing because it is burning. Let's see. I'm tempted to go get a little cover for this to cover these ends. I think I have enough of that faux suede, so let me go do that first. All right, so I have 2 pieces of 1.5 by 1.5. This is 1.5 inch webbing, and I just mark a line down the middle, and I put my webbing just shy of the line, and then I fold it over so it gets nice and even on both sides. That really personally, I think it makes a big difference. And I do that on both ends. This doesn't seem to be fraying too bad, so that's a good thing. Okay. And then we will put this up and over our slider. I don't think there's a right or wrong side, which is another nice feature of this webbing. And we'll just put that down and I'm going to do 2 rows of stitches. Oh, I forgot to thread my needle. I did my machine, but I didn't thread my needle. There we go. I'm going to do 2 rows of stitching. One more. Let's burn those little thread ends. This is very nice faux suede. I think that's what it is. Feels like faux suede. Okay, now let's add our swivel clasp. Okay, I gotta turn that around. Yeah. Hold on a second. Okay, so the next step is to take your strap connectors, and I just divided them down the middle, and I put a piece of tape on each side, but I'm adding a small piece of stabilizer, and the reason is this vinyl is a little stretchy that came in the box, and I don't want my strap connectors to get all stretched out, so I'm just adding, this is just a piece of Lux Fuse, 3/4 inch, and I'm leaving it open on each end so it doesn't bulk up my seam. And then I'm still gonna fold everything into the center, just like that. It's very pretty, but it's a little tiny bit stretchy. And the last thing you want on strap connectors is for them to stretch out. So, may not be necessary at all, but I'm doing it just in case. So you have 2 strap connectors. Okay, let's sew those together down the side. All right, let's stitch as close as we can to our D-ring. All right, so we're going to continue with the Vicky May, and this is the zipper gusset. So obviously, just like with any other zipper gusset, you've got the zipper sandwiched in between the exterior and the lining, all of them. So the exterior is right side down, the interior is right side down with the sandwich zipper. Now, I've done that on both sides. So I'm going to do the full seam allowance on both sides. You'll have to tell me what you think of this camera view. I'm trying something different. I don't know personally if I like it myself, but we'll see. Don't forget to put your zipper pull on. You might want to say, well, why do you remind us of that? Because I've done it. I'm going to have to go close the door. Okay, and I'm going to do the other side. So you can base these and do them one at a time, or you can do them like I am, all in one stitch. It's really up to you. Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to turn it right side out. And we're going to top stitch across our zipper, just like we do any zipper gusset right here. And then we're going to base this bottom part of the zipper closed. Yeah. I was like, oh dear, it's not fitting, but it is. It's perfect, actually. Okay, so I'm going to clip that so it's nice and taut. Okay, so for the next step is I'm using foam for my stabilizer. I'm sorry, the camera's shaking just a hair. So I just put it on out of my seam allowance, and then I did add my tag down here. So we're going to put our zipper gusset on, and you're marking from the pattern piece where the zipper and the gusset match, and that's where you're attaching it right sides together. So we're just going to clip that on and mark your centers as well so everything fits in there nicely. And I'm just opening my zipper just to make it a little easier on myself. Now, keep in mind, on the pattern, there is a top and a bottom to this piece C. So just keep that in mind. I don't know that it's a different size on the top, but I think it might be just a little. And where you put the marks, obviously, is different. So now, we're going to do, on this right side, we're going to do a stitch, what she tells you to in the pattern, from just under the zipper down to where the curve begins. And she says, she gives you an approximate measurement. Yeah. And that is actually perfect. So we're going to just stitch that at the seam that she tells you to in the pattern. It's very interesting. You don't want to stitch the zipper here. Oops, I need to increase my stitch length. Back stitching well at the beginning and the end. of that seam. That's it. We're going to do the rest of it, but that is supposedly different. Okay. So just from here to here. That's it. All right, so we got it all clipped, and now we're gonna just stitch. Remember, we already did this part here, this portion. Now we're gonna stitch around the rest of it, just basting it in place. Where you started and stopped. 1/8 of an inch. Your zipper pull is out of the way. And then we're going to stop right where we started. I've got to get my Kelly's and pull that. There we go. Okay. There's always a reason for directions. That's going to be our turning hole. Okay, now we're going to take one of our lining pieces, and you want to make sure, let me verify the top and the bottom because they are a little different, so hold on. All right, so mark your centers, and we're going to lay, so here's the piece that we just created. And we're going to lay our lining piece right sides down and clip that in place, leaving that little turning hole open. Okay. I had to go take my sweatshirt off. I was hot. So let's sew the full seam allowance, except for our turning hole. I'm doing it on this side so I can see my previous stitching as well. I'm trying to find where's my zipper. Okay. So on the corners, just make sure that your zipper is flat, and mine is starting to bunch a little bit. We don't want that. and just go over to where that previous stitch stopped and started. So right here. Okay. Now, she does suggest using some pinking shears. I could definitely do that on this fabric. I'll find my pinking shears. Oh, here they are. And just do your corners. You probably don't have to do. Ooh, and I don't want to do my zipper. That was my zipper, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to do my bottom corners. I don't want to do my zipper. Now, there's a little excess here, so I will do that. But that's it. So you should have, let me find my hole. That's what it should look like. So I've got this turning hole. So we're going to reach inside of there. So this is a good lesson in mind what fabrics you're using, because anything really stiff in this small of a hole is going to be a challenge. Okay, it really wasn't too bad. I did end up making my hole a little bit bigger. And I definitely would do it on the bottom. These small turning holes are, you know, most people, they're probably absolutely fine for it. They're not for me. I don't want to struggle with a turning hole. And it wasn't a huge struggle, but it was a struggle. And I'm just not into bag making for the struggle. So I made my hole just about a ½ an inch bigger. It wasn't a ton, but next time, because I think I really like this bag, I would make it do the whole turning hole on the bottom. Now, what I'm doing now is I put a little piece of tape in the turning hole, and I'm just gonna fold over my seam so that when I top stitch, it will close itself. So just a tiny little turning, and then when we top stitch it, it'll automatically close that hole. This is exactly like the Louis, how the Louis is done, which is really kind of nice, actually. There we go. So now I put double-sided tape there so that when I do the top stitching, it will automatically close that. I love it. So I'm going to turn it like this to do my top stitching so I can see better. And I'm going to start where my turning hole is so that I'm sure I get that nice and good. Yeah, I'm going to start right there. Okay, let's top stitch. And you're top stitching on this pocket piece, not on the gusset, just FYI. I'm not sure I mentioned that. I should have checked my bobbin. Check your bobbin, guys. I was getting low on bobbin, so. Okay, I'm gonna open my zipper. Get that out of the way. Okay, let's see how we did. I had just enough bobbin. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, it didn't, yeah. I probably, she even mentions this in the pattern, I probably will do a tiny slip stitch here because I don't want any of that raw seam showing. So I'm just going to put a little slip stitch here, and I'll do that off camera and show you. All right, so the next step is to take your other pattern pocket. I think it's called, let's see, PP2 Pocket C. With the top up, and this piece that we just finished, we're going to lay that, and I'm just going to close this for the moment. And I'm matching up my centers on the top and the bottom. If I can find where I marked it. Yep, top and the bottom. And then where your gusset matches. So there's those markings are all three of these pieces, these pockets. See? I'm trying to find it. There we go. Okay. So this is the wrong side. Inside is the right side because we're making the pocket, remember? Making that front pocket. Now we're just going to clip that all the way around. All right, so I have that clipped all the way around. That's what it looks like. And we're going to just baste that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay, that really wasn't too bad. I thought it would be worse than it was. You just want to make sure on this side that you caught it all. So there's your pocket. We just created the nice big front pocket. I like it. Okay, now we're going to take this piece, and there are markings. There is a definite top and bottom. Let me make sure I did this right. Hold on. Yeah. The wider part is the top. So this is a little bit wider than the bottom. And you have your 2 markings for where your zipper gusset starts, here and here. So make sure when you're doing this that you're laying this gusset piece right side up, and then you flip it over to clip it. That makes a big difference on this. So let me show you what I did, because it's a little confusing and I don't want you guys to get confused. So lay it right side up like that, just like that, and then flip this over and match your seams, your center marks. That's how you get all your marks correctly. And then just clip it all the way around. So on these corners, it's sticking out here, and that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, and then mark your gusset sides. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? There it is. And then just clip that all the way around and stitch that at the full seam allowance in the pattern. Oh, not bad. One tiny little pucker there. I'm okay with that. Let's see if we can zip our zipper easily. Oh, yeah. So that's what it looks like. That's what you should have. So I'm going to, full disclosure, you guys, I have one tiny little pucker right there. I'm okay with that. If you used any leather marking, just get it off of there if you think it's going to show through the seam. I don't think it will. All right. So now you have your front pocket. This is huge. Look how big that front pocket is. It's massive. All right, next step. Now the next step she talks about being optional, but I'm going to do it. So this seam that we just created down here, this one, we want to stitch that down so it lays nice and flat. So I'm going to stitch on the zipper gusset piece, but I'm going to make sure my seam is laying flat underneath there as I go all the way around. Before you start this, make sure you have good bobbin. So I'm just reaching under there. Again, make sure that your zipper tape is laying flat. And just go slow as you need to. I'm going to open my zipper. So I can get in there good. Make sure that seam is under there. That's the whole purpose of this. Okay, that wasn't bad at all. And I think it's going to be well worth it. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, see, that seam really makes it look nice up here too. It keeps that zipper nice and flat. I like it. All right, so I am going to do the handle just like the pattern calls for. So I divided this piece down the middle, and I'm going to fold it into the center using double-sided tape. And because this is faux suede, I'm going to leave my ends raw over here. Okay. I'm going to stitch down each long end. I am not going to stitch down the sides like we normally just go all the way around it, because that will get stitched when we attach it. gonna go back down the other side. Okay. If you have any threads you need to burn, do that now. On both ends. And then I'm just going to even up my ends ever so slightly. That one doesn't even need it. Okay. Then take your pattern piece P12. Make sure you mark the top. I did put foam and I left it in my seam allowance for this one. Totally preference. And then find the center, and we're going to add our handle centered. Let me see, hold on a second. So I marked my center of my handle, and I marked obviously the center of my piece. And then on the back of it, I just put 2 little pieces of double-sided tape so it'll stay where I want, because I'm going to stitch a little box here. Let me find my center. There we go. Okay. There's no give, because when you have it, there'll be a give, just like that. So now I'm going to just stitch. You do yourself, but I'm going to do about a little more than a 1/2 inch box all the way around. Then I'm going to add a rivet. Okay, you know me in boxes. I did okay, but don't really like them. Okay, so that's what that looks like. It's just a little box, and I'm going to repeat that on this other end. And then I'll add a rivet. I didn't know why they sent rivets, and now I know. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to put a rivet there and there. All right, so we have our little handle on the back with 2 rivets. We'll see how useful it is. I did add a little piece of Lux Fuse or stabilizer underneath the rivets, even though I have foam, because that foam isn't very strong. Now we're going to make our pocket, and so this is a long pocket. My little bees are going sideways. Bees fly sideways, right? That's okay. Whoops, I'm losing all my pattern pieces, and I changed my view. I prefer this view. I can see the picture and make sure you guys can see it. So I'm going to stitch across the top. This is wrong sides together. And we're just going to make a nice little lip there. Okay, and then we're going to add it to one of our lining pieces. Let me tell you the number. And it is PP12, I believe. Yeah, PP12. So one of our lining pieces here, my little bees are going up and down. And we're just going to add that right there. And I'm going to make sure that it's the same distance from the top. On both sides. Yep. Perfect. And then I'm just going to baste it all the way around. So now you have, it's hard to see with the bees, but you have two big pockets there. Next. So on the other main lining piece, on the top, measure down, and we're doing the zipper pocket. So I don't know if you can see my zipper square, and that's right sides together with my main lining piece. And we're going to sew that together. And then we'll cut it open. And turn it right side out. I made my box a 1/2 inch. Because I don't like my zipper being too tight. Not for this. I got navy thread everywhere. Now, I'm going to fix this corner because it missed a stitch, and I'm not going to have that. It'll look weird. So let me just go back over that. There we go. Okay. Sometimes you have to fix things, you know? You guys do too. I know you do. Okay, now let's open up our zipper. Go up to the corner, do your little triangles to your stitching without cutting your stitching. And then I think this will iron pretty good, so I'm going to iron it. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Let's put it through to the back. And I'm going to turn around and iron it. All right, so I have my zipper with my pull on, some double-sided tape. And we're going to lay that right inside our zipper opening that we turn to the back. Nice and centered. And for anybody else that got this box, is this zipper tape black? I thought at first I thought it was navy, but I think it's just black, which surprised me. I thought it should be navy. I mean, it's fine. It looks fine. I just was kind of surprised they didn't send navy. Okay. Now we're going to stitch around our box. All the way around our box. Our lining is down here. Whoops. I don't want that, boys and girls. Okay. Now we'll close off our zipper pocket on all 4 sides. Okay, so here's our zipper pocket. We'll bring that up and we'll attach it all the way around. And actually, this side is already, it's folded, so we'll just sew 3 sides. It's a good size pocket too. This is a cute bag. Very cute bag. Okay, right side up. Let's start on this one end and we'll go up the side, across the top, and down the other side. I'm just going over my zipper itself a couple times. Okay. If you have any excess zipper tape, just trim that up and then burn your ends. And there you have your inside zipper pocket, fully lined. Cute. Next, all right, we're gonna do the zipper panel. So here is my exterior piece. I'm gonna lay my zipper right side down. I'm gonna add a piece of the lining on top of that, sandwiched. And I'm using 1/8 inch double-sided tape, which doesn't really stick that well for this purpose, but it's gonna do. Okay, now we're gonna do our seam allowance, and I'm just doing them both at the same time. And then we'll turn that over, wrong sides together, and top stitch. If you have materials you can iron, it would be a good time to iron. But since this is faux suede, it won't let me do that. Okay. Just want to make sure everything's nice and even on both sides. Okay. Top stitch, then I'm going to baste all the way around. Okay, and we're going to repeat that on this other side, so I'll do that on fast forward. Okay, now we're going to add our D-rings, and she tells you to leave a certain amount overhanging. And so I've done that on both sides. Centered. And then we're just going to baste those in place. So the D-rings are going in towards the zipper. Okay, let's repeat that on this side. Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to grab our gusset, and the same thing, I put foam outside of my seam allowance on the outside gusset. Okay, so we're going to add that right sides out, exterior to exterior. And interior to interior. And I'm just going to do one stitch. So I'm just putting them together like that, and the same on this side. And if your gusset is a little wider than your zipper panel, that's okay. That's going to happen. And the lining to the lining. Sometimes it fits perfectly, and other times it doesn't. All right, Let's sew that at the seam allowance in the pattern. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Let's make sure your D-ring is out of the way. And let's do the other side. It gets a little thick right there, so it was getting hung up, so you just got to move it along. Okay, then we're going to turn that right side out and top stitch along our zipper gusset where it meets. And then we're going to baste all this closed. And when it doesn't meet like this, right here, I'll show you what I do. It happens a lot with these zipper gussets and the bottom gusset. They don't always match perfectly. It depends on your seam allowance. There's a lot of factors, but it's not a big deal. It's very fixable. Okay. So I'm going to start doing my gusset where my D-ring is. So I'm going to start over here. And then we're going to just baste the gusset closed. And then top stitch where your D-ring is. And come down the other side. All right, so now let's fix those sides so they match up perfectly. Okay, so this side matches good. So I'm just trimming that off. But this side, there's about less than a 1/4 inch, but I'm just gonna trim that just like that, so that it matches. And I'm going to do it on both sides. This side is actually okay. Yeah. So there's just one little spot. Not a big deal. So now we have our gusset. Now let's put our gussets together end to end. And we're going to find our centers. I'm going to find our centers on the zipper gussets. On both the top and the bottom. or both sides, and our bottom gusset. Okay. Perfect. Next step. All right, so now we're going to prepare our front and back panels. So take your back panel with your zipper pocket, and we're going to baste those together, wrong sides together. And we're just basting them within the seam allowance. So about, I think she says 1/4 inch. That's not really a secret. It's pretty typical. Just make sure your zipper pocket is nice and flat. We're going to do that on both the back panel and the front panel. All right, so the next step is to clip our zipper gusset onto our front and back pieces. We already made our center marks, and just make sure you have center marks on the top and the bottom. So in this kit, we didn't get enough zippers to have 2 zippers. So I am just going to make sure that my zippers are both closing and opening the same way. I personally would put 2 zippers on, 2 zipper pulls the next time I make this bag, because I prefer that on both of these zipper openings. So I'm going to do it on the front panel first. I'm matching up my centers. And we'll just clip all the way around. If you might have to clip your corners on your gusset just a little. You got a fairly decent seam allowance, which is nice. Okay, let's do it. Good seam allowance. As you go around your corners, just spread your corners, your fabric around the corner so it doesn't get puckers as best you can. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's early in the morning and I heard a bunch of noise outside. It's the trash. I thought, oh my gosh, what's going on out there? Saturday trash pickup. It's very noisy. Say same thing on these upper corners. Make sure your zipper pulls are out of the way. Got a lot of hardware in here, so I'm just trying to get it all out of the way. Okay, let's see how we did. Oh my, that's pretty good. So there's our corners. No puckers there. No puckers there. Let's see how we did on the top one. No puckers. Oh my gosh, there is a tiny little pucker right there. I'm okay with that. That actually is a cute bag. Oh my gosh. And now I'm just looking to make sure I don't have any basting stitches showing through. And I don't. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's do the other side, and I'll do that on fast forward. Beautiful. All right, just make sure that your top is on the top and your zipper is on the top. You know what? I think I'm gonna put my binding on there first. Hold on. All right, so they sent some black binding. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clip it on. This binding doesn't really have a right or a wrong side. And I'm gonna stretch it around. Just like this. Then I'm going to cut it. This is how I always do my binding now. It's so much better. Put the two wrong sides together, and we're going to make a stitch. And then we'll add it. It just fits beautifully. And you don't have to try and finagle it. It just works really good. Okay. So now we have one continuous binding piece with our seam. So now let's add it, and it'll fit beautifully. I'm starting on the bottom. Actually, I need to trim this just a little first. Just make sure that the edges for your binding are nice and even. That's all I'm doing. I'm not really trimming it. Just making sure that everything is nice and even. Especially on the corners. The corners tend to get just a hair off. That's it. Just that tiny little. All right, now let's do it. Stretch it as you go. This is fold over elastic. They sent black. Everything else is navy. It's okay. I probably have some navy that I could use, but I'm just using what they sent. So I'm just getting it on there, and then I'll come back and add some clips. Ugh, it just fits perfectly when you do it this way. The key to this method is to make sure when you're measuring that you pull it up, you know, just like you would if you put it on by itself, so that it fits really nice. You know, the thing about binding too is you don't have to necessarily match your fabric. If you want it to kind of disappear inside the bag, you would. Okay. There we go. Let's stitch it on. perfect. That came out perfect. I didn't miss any either. It's amazing. All right, now let's add our back piece. Make sure everything's right side up, and we're gonna just repeat that whole process for the back, and I'll do that all on fast forward. Right, so when I looked inside on the outside, I saw some of my basting stitches up here. So that's why you saw me put another row of stitches just to make sure that none of those were showing. All right, so we're gonna do the binding exactly the same way. And I'll do that on fast forward. All right, guys, here, let me turn this up. I have to say, that's the first time I've ever done, maybe not the first time, one of the times that I've done binding that I didn't have to go back over it. It's perfect. And the black actually looks really good with it. Go figure. All right, let's turn it. See how it is to turn. These materials shouldn't be too bad. Famous last words. Not sure you can see. Oh my gosh, that was so easy. That's one thing I love about bond bags. They're most of the time very easy to turn. This is a cute bag. And it's good size. I'm a little surprised how big it is, actually. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. Making sure my inside zipper is good. Oh my. Burn a few little things. There we go. Okay. Let me put it down a little bit so you can see. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. All right, I love this strap too. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. I always see things that, you know, as bag designers, you're always seeing things that need to be tweaked. That looks pretty good. Oh my gosh. All right, before I put it on, I'm gonna go get my husband's cell phone to make sure it fits in here. Hold on. All right, guys, here it is. The Vicky May. This is Vicky May 2. This is so cute. And it's bigger than you think. So here is my husband's cell phone. I mean, that front pocket, you could put 3 or 4 cell phones. It's so big. Oh my gosh. And look at the inside. There's 2 slip pockets and a zipper pocket. Oh my gosh. Now, I'm going to say a few things. This is a gorgeous bag. I'm going to make another one. And I'm going to, because in this bag making bee box, they didn't send enough for 2 zipper pulls on both these pockets, which I think I prefer, so that you can open it either way. Although if you're right-handed and you're wearing a crossbody, to have the zipper open this way is really helpful, actually. So let me talk a few things about what I would do different. I'm just thinking the handle on the back is optional. She completely says that in the pattern. I don't think I would do it again. I'm not sure I would use it, but you might. So the handle is there. I definitely will not, on a crossbody, I would never use faux suede. And the reason being, it sticks to your body. So when you're trying to, you know, move around or adjust it, the suede sticks to your clothes. So I would definitely not use faux suede on a crossbody. It's beautiful fabric, but it's not practical, in my opinion. What else would I do different? The 2 zipper pulls, I'm not sure I would do anything different. I mean, look how big that pocket is. So here's my husband's cell phone. Look how big it is. This is a iPhone 14 Pro Max. So, I mean, I could carry both our phones in it. And don't tell him that because, you know, these phones are heavy. So that's that. Huge front pocket. I love it. And then inside is huge. There's a zipper on the inside, and on this front side, there's 2 slip pockets. I'm gonna make another one. I am telling ya, it is so cute. I honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's bigger than I thought it would be. So let me tell you what her measurements are. Let me see. 11 inches wide, 8 1/4 tall, and 2 3/4 deep. So to me, the 11 sounds wide, but the 8 and the 2 3/4 doesn't sound as wide. But you get the width, additional width from this front pocket. I love it. And the bee box came with this little tag that I put in the back, with love. And a little bee. It's cute. The Vicky May 2 bag by Studio 7T7. Very cute. She's a UK designer. She has her own video, so I encourage you to go watch her video too. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I'm gonna go cut another one out. I'm gonna do another one, but I'm gonna do it in vinyl. so that it doesn't stick to me. But isn't this pretty? Oh my gosh. Now, the nice thing too, this, you could wear it as a crossbody or you could wear it around your waist. That's the nice thing with these 1.5 inch straps, that you could easily wear it around your waist if you didn't want to wear it as a crossbody. And then you wouldn't have to worry about it sticking. And it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't stick bad. It's just something that I prefer because I move my bag around on my body constantly when I'm wearing it. Thanks for watching. Go get the pattern and make your own, or this one will be for sale. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.